and many of them say this is a wound on the Indian constitution, and they say this delimitation bill would structurally change the constitution.
And should this be seen as the political response to delimitation or the people's response, where Andhra will be passive and Telangana will be aggressive?
Andhra Pradesh is very, very, very passive and diplomatic rather than defiant, while Telangana is very much defiant.
Yesterday, and he said that nowhere in the document does it mention 1971. Because had that been the case, there would have been no debate.
The Karnataka government is strongly opposing the delimitation bill, as well as the civil rights groups.
And they played all the drama that Modi is their new daddy. All those drama was played.
It's suicidal to do, and yet they went ahead with it, knowing fully well.
Whatever the party that stays in Andhra, that will definitely stay loyal to the central party. Either it may be Congress, either it is BJP.
Every single state in the south, whether it is Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, they have all complaining about the lesser share in the central pie. Political disparity is a major thing, because as Indians, I don't think the South Indian states may have a problem in giving a share in their revenue to the North Indian states for them to pick up.
Who's thinking of this collective from the south?
From Siddaramaiah, actually Siddaramaya's political secretary ago has moved this.
Hello and welcome. My name is Sanket Upadhyay. You're watching me on TheFederal. The show is called AI with Sanket because news in India today requires an AI, but that AI is analytical intelligence, not artificial intelligence. We all know that the central government has started a discussion on its proposed delimitation bill. Will it sail through or not is a different question. But what and how will its impact be on the ground is something that one can see, particularly in South Indian states. So what we thought here on this program is to get a view from the 5 South Indian states on whether the public opinion in these states is in favor of this delimitation bill or not. I would like to introduce all the panelists today. Mr. K.C. Jacob is the executive editor of Deccan Chronicle. Thank you very much, sir. Pramila Krishnan of TheFederal, who will give us a perspective of Tamil Nadu. We have Mr. Naveen, who will give us the perspective of what is happening in Karnataka, and Ms. Rachna, who is going to give us a sort of an assessment in the 2 Telugu-speaking states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. We do know that the Andhra Chief Minister has supported the central government's delimitation move. I want to begin with you first, Pramila, because the maximum impact on the ground that we are seeing is in a poll-bound Tamil Nadu, where copies of this delimitation bill have been burnt by the Chief Minister. What is the buzz on the ground, and do politicians or people, forget politicians, do people not want to give in to the central government's explanation that a 50% rule will be equally applicable to all states?
Hi, Sanket. Actually, people, as far as on ground, I'm not sure they are very well into the election now, so they are not quite. They could not understand what this delimitation is all about. And when we talk about even educated voters, I'm not sure whether they could understand how this will impact on them. So as of now, voters concerned, they are not aware very much. But as far as the political campaigns, this delimitation bill has given a big push for DMK to focus much more about the state rights, state autonomy, on which DMK banks on almost in all the elections. So again, this morning, Stalin burnt the copies of the bill, and the big team of DMK MPs gathered in Anna Arivalayam. They had burnt the copies, they protested, and across Tamil Nadu, we could see DMK and the alliance partners have been actively campaigning against this delimitation bill, and many of them say this is a wound on the Indian constitution, and they say this delimitation bill would structurally change the constitution. So it's a big push for this election, I think. And Southern, they are sending out two big messages, that the calculation in the manner in which this delimitation is suggested, that itself is wrong. The other perspective is that the southern states are being punished for their performance. So these are the two key points on which they have been campaigning on this against this delimitation. So on ground, this has given a big canvas for DMK during this election campaign, election season.
Yes. Mr. Jacob, just coming to you now, you see in Kerala, which has just seen elections, obviously this is not going to be an election issue because elections are over. However, that is not the case with Tamil Nadu. But having said that, what is the view on the ground on this delimitation exercise? Is largely the the politics and the political conversation in Kerala in favor of this delimitation bill, or are there reservations?
Perhaps be the only South Indian state where the players on both sides will be having the same opinion about this bill. Because whether it is the LDF led by the CPIM or the UDF led by the Congress, they both have the same opinion about the bill. The CPIM has already said that this is going to impact the Southern Indian states. The Congress is leading the opposition in objecting to this bill. So in Kerala, by and large, the political opinion will be against this delimitation bill. Kerala is going to be impacted because Kerala has at present 20 seats in the 543 member Lok Sabha. When it goes to be 850, maybe Kerala will be getting 3 or 4 more seats. But the ratio will definitely suffer in against Kerala's interests. So I think, but as the representative from Tamil Nadu said, the discussion has not picked up much in Kerala. It is only last few days, I mean 2 or 3 days. But I think the political leaders have made their points very clear that this is against federal principles. This is against the interests of the South Indian states. So the by and large, except for the BJP, there will be no takers for this bill in Kerala.
But Mr. Jacob, how is the assurance from the center being viewed that the division will be on a 50%, a 50% structured increase in every state? So, for instance, if UP is at 80, it will jump to 120. And if Tamil Nadu is at 39, it will jump to 39 plus half of 39. That is the assurance.
We are not sure because the bill says that the Delimitation Commission will go ahead with the process based on the last published census, that is 2011 census. I think if the central government is planning all across 50% increase, then that is the most logical thing to do. If the central government sticks to that promise, then I don't think there is going to be a problem, even in Tamil Nadu. If the government says that it's going to be a 50% increase across, even Tamil Nadu would be having no issues with that. This is what my assumption is. The problem comes when you take the population as the sole criterion, because there was a word given to the all the states that we will fix it at 1971 census, basically because the different states have performed differently when it comes to population control. Now, generally, South Indian states have successfully done that, and the North Indians are not that successful. So this is the basic disparity. If that is not taken into account, then I don't think South Indian states will have a problem. At the same time, I think it will be unfair on the part of the South Indian states to insist that population cannot be a criterion. Population also has to be a criterion. When 12 or 13 lakh people will have an MP from the south, 20 or more lakh people will have an MP from the north. So that is also an issue. The problem basically is, as much as I understand, is that the union government has not thought it fit to engage the stakeholders, the states, the political parties, the opposition, before moving such a bill. They thought that they can easily piggyback this delimitation on the women's reservation bill, and it will be a plus either way. So that is very unfair. That is undemocratic, because we have a policy. The central government has a policy that we will fix the delimitation on 1971 census. It was passed first by the Congress government, and then it was extended by a BJP and NDA government in 2001. So there is a national consensus on that. If the union government wants to break it, then they should try and evolve another national consensus. How are we going to solve this issue? Instead of doing that, the government has gone ahead single-handedly and introduced these bills. That is where the problem.
Now, Ms. Rachna, coming to you for the two states of Andhra as well as Telangana, would you like to tell us one by one what the opinion is in each of these states? We can begin with Telangana and then Andhra Pradesh, because it's interesting. While Telangana is opposition ruled, Andhra Pradesh is ruled
party.
Exactly, and they've supported this move. So let's begin with Telangana and then Andhra Pradesh.
Sure. So looking at the Telugu states, when we look at them, both of them have the same language, same culture, sharing many things in common. But as far as these political issues are concerned, whether it is concerned with people as well, delimitation, both are moving in almost opposite directions, we must say. In Telangana, coming to Telangana, in Telangana, the fight against delimitation is almost strong and united. CM Revanth Reddy wrote a letter to PM Narendra Modi. Even he made it clear that progress should not be punished and population growth must not be rewarded. No other southern chief minister had proposed something to overcome this, had not suggested any alternative model, whereas Revanth Reddy proposed a middle ground model, that is hybrid model. He told that 50%, as we were saying, 50% can be based on population, and 50% must be based on seats allocation must be based on how much economic growth or whatever the taxes or whatever the state is contributing, that is GDP, gross state domestic product. So almost all the BJP leaders and everybody is opposing him as his Congress leader, saying that he's doing all this to be in good books of Congress and to secure the national Congress president. So keeping this apart, this is a Congress Revanth Reddy version, which can be very easily, everybody can say it simply as his Congress leader, he's doing it. But BRS, even the communist parties, everybody is opposing it. Looking at other thing, that is, even today, April 16th, 11:30 or so, at Plaza, the intellectuals, the students, and many people are voicing their concerns over this delimitation, how it is going to affect. That means in Telangana, it is still showing that we're active-driven and movement-driven. So this is Telangana. So Telangana is almost clear on it. Even it is looking like, as far as political stand is concerned, it is looking like a mini Tamil Nadu, like Stalin always stands for his culture, for state's culture and all. It's looking, as far as political stand is concerned, like mini Tamil Nadu. Now coming back to Andhra, this is completely different. Like Chandrababu Naidu and Janasena, Pawan Kalyan, or whatsoever, TDP and JSP, what they're doing is they're celebrating the women's bill, and they're almost all supporting the delimitation bill. Okay, keep them apart. They are the allies of NDA. They can, maybe to some extent, we can support them. Jagan Mohan Reddy, who is the chief opposition party, who is always ready to pounce upon Chandrababu Naidu and others, is also supporting it. And to support his statement, he's saying that the state will have its seats increased, so that it is something good for the state and all. So he is only the opposition party, and even those who are supporting it only are looking at the state's MLAs, MP seats increase, despite looking at the nationwide loss. So this is another interesting perspective. When we look at both Telugu states in a way, from Andhra Pradesh, there is only one party, as all of you can guess, it is Congress party. All India Andhra Pradesh Congress Committee President Y.S. Sharmila is the only person who opposes the delimitation. She sends it somewhat logical in saying this, because while her brother Jagan Mohan Reddy said that the seats increase would automatically benefit the state, she contradicted by stating it very clear. Andhra Pradesh accounts for 4% of India's population. So even if the seats increase from 25 to 38 seats or so, in a share of total 850 seats or so, its allocation will fall far below that 4%. So even a shift of 10% decrease or so in center's allocation will definitely decrease to 10,000 to 20,000 crores allocation in maybe fund projects, people benefit schemes or whatsoever. So from Andhra Pradesh, you can see only one person, that is Sharmila. This is AP and Telangana. As you have started with Sanket, the people's pulse and all, let's talk about it. With that, I'll wind up. When coming to Telangana, it is very clear, since it's when it is part with Andhra Pradesh and when it is individual also, it's always youth driven, movements driven. It won't, even the politicians never and ever oppose a majority public opinion. That is very clear. When coming to Andhra, it is caste driven and policy driven. Like in Telangana, as it suffered under Andhra, like language, job opportunities and all. Even Rayalaseema suffered under Andhra Pradesh, but they suffered silently. Even Potti Sriramulu died, but he's not as glorified as the Telangana leaders and all. So this people pulse, when we compare both these Telugu states, only the people's response and reaction says that Andhra Pradesh is very, very, very passive and diplomatic rather than defiant, while Telangana is very much defiant. That's it, Sanket.
Very, very significant. And should this be seen as the political response to delimitation or the people's response, where Andhra will be passive and Telangana will be aggressive? That is going to be very, very interesting. But Naveen, just now coming to Karnataka, we've got a view from Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. Karnataka, again an opposition ruled state. How are they viewing?
Sanket, in Karnataka, in general public, there is not much understanding about delimitation. But in college level, even civil rights groups, they are discussing about this. How Karnataka will lose, and even South Indian states, overall South Indian states and Karnataka, how will they get negatives from this delimitation? These interesting points are being discussed in Karnataka. But politically, Congress is, state government is opposing the delimitation bill. And interesting part is that even in BJP, they publicly they say they are supporting delimitation, but inside information is that there are also one section of the BJP is also against this, because they know when the BJP if in future if it comes to power, then they will again face the same problem, because being a less numbered state, it will definitely have a problem from the northern states, because the overall discussion is being done on Karnataka is around as per the their thinking, Karnataka will be getting around 14 seats more based on 2011 population. But in general, Karnataka is having minus of now Karnataka is representing 5.515% in parliament. But after delimitation, if it happens, then it will get only 4.2 percentage of representation in Karnataka. And overall, when compared to South Indian,
no, Naveen, this is from the assumption. This is from the assumption that the basis for the delimitation will be the 2011 census and not the 1971 census. However, the central government, I do not know what is there in letter in the document, because we spoke to Mr. Yogendra Yadav yesterday and he said that nowhere in the document does it mention 1971. Because had that been the case, there would have been no debate. The fact that it has not been mentioned and it is only an oral assurance by the government, it carries no meaning, and which is why South is up in arms. Naveen.
Yeah, and Karnataka is strongly opposing the Karnataka government is strongly opposing the delimitation bill, as well as the civil rights groups. They are all pushing the government to react on this important in this situation, because as per the even in Siddaramaiah has openly said that Karnataka will get it won't get benefits, because even GST and other financial benefits Karnataka is not getting like any other states of South India. Even after Maharashtra, Karnataka is the number two place, number two second state in the South India of generating taxes. and now it is getting instead of their demand of getting 13%, it's getting 13 paisa from 1 rupee. It will get only 4 or 5 paisa. So this is the situation now. Even when if it happens, it will completely give a problem for Karnataka. And also their worry is Hindi, it will only help Bimaru states. And even other issues like Hindi imposition. So actually, indirectly, Karnataka is going for two language policy in the model of Tamil Nadu. So recently they have done some steps connected to two language policy. And in SSL 10th grade, they have demolished, they have kept aside Hindi as third language, and they are not counting that. So some steps are being done because their worry is after delimitation, definitely if it happens, it will definitely the Hindi states ruling over South India and particularly Karnataka.
Okay. Compared to all the other South Indian states, you see, Karnataka becomes interesting because this is the state where the BJP is actually in play. In no other state do you have BJP strong enough to come to power on their own, but for Karnataka. So, for a section of the people in Karnataka BJP unit not supporting this decision is also interesting. And you know, one really wonders, knowing fully well what sort of a response will come from south of India, for the government to go ahead and push for this is also very, very interesting. Pramila Krishnan, let's just get a word from the ground. Assurance from the center versus documents, and also the points that are being made by the state leadership, particularly the DMK. I want to know the view of the AIA DMK, which has a very strange relationship with the BJP. So it's off and on with the BJP. So what is their opinion?
Yeah, because they are in a catch-22 situation. They could not leave the alliance, and they can't. They don't want to fight back with BJP on ground, and at heart too, because they believe it's essential for them to have the support from the union government. So they also think many of the AIDMK leaders have already declared that since Jayalalitha has passed away, and they are like orphaned children, and they played all the drama that Modi is their new daddy, all those drama was played. So they do not want to mess up anymore. So they are just keeping quiet. None of them have given any official official statement regarding this. They just do not wish to look into that issue of delimitation till now. So we have to wait for any of the official statements to be made. So far, AIDMK MLAs, none of them have reacted on the core issue of the delimitation. They are merely saying we should encourage this women reservation bill. This is the reaction from them when we try to speak to AIDMK senior members, even the spokespersons. They have only this opinion to be shared from the ground. So, but when we talk to the alliance, even the when we talk to BJP leaders also, they say they will fight for the rights of Tamil Nadu, but they are not quite sure how will they do this with their own party in the union, the power at the center. So they say they will fight for the rights of Tamil Nadu. They just stay with that. So it's
Yeah, because
really
I'm quite
quick.
surprised. You see, this crisis is bigger and deeper in Karnataka, where, as I said, they are in the political theater. In other places, whether it is Andhra, Telangana, or even in Tamil Nadu, where they're trying their luck, this is almost like harakiri. It's suicidal to do, and yet they went ahead with it, knowing fully well. And this is the next part of my question, where I want to come to each of you, knowing fully well that in Parliament they do not have the numbers to sail a constitutional amendment through. The opposition can stall it. So then what is the purpose of this gambit? Are we trying to say that the BJP is so naive that it knew that this bill will not go through and yet brought, or is there some other purpose? one by one. Pramila first, and then Ms. Rachna, and then Naveen.
So, as far as the voice from Tamil Nadu, they think, in in the past years, many bills have been passed. Though it was the MPs were given even a brief amount of time to discuss, but those issues were not taken up. Their voices were not heard properly. None of their comments were included in any of those bills. So they strongly believe even this announcement of calling people for the special session itself. It's a black day. They announced it. Today is a black day. DMK president said today is a black day and asked people to raise black flags in their houses. So they strongly believe that this bill would pass through. So that's the sense from the ground here.
Yeah, Ms. Rachna, let me also quickly tell you there is another strategy which is deployed here in the center. We have seen some of the constitutional amendment bills sailing through when in the din in parliament opposition MPs are suspended. So what will happen is when there is a suspension, then the strength of the house will come down and the 2/3 mark will also come down, and then the central government will have a majority. So, do you feel that, Ms. Rachna, this is something which, at least in the context of the 5 South Indian states, the central government can even dare do?
It can't. And so I'll add one more thing. Actually, when we look at Telangana and Andhra, there is one more thing. When we look at Andhra, almost it's having allies, and the center is very much sure whatever the party that stays in Andhra, that will definitely stay loyal to the central party. Either it may be Congress, either it is BJP. BJP for sure, as all of us know, for 100% sure, it will continue for some more time until a strong opposition also some arises. So it is very much, as far as Andhra is concerned, whatever the bill is passed, despite the people's interest and all, Andhra politicians will stand with the centrist, whatever it is. Coming to, that's why it might be one opinion as far as Andhra is concerned. When we look at Telangana, it's a bit different. Anyways, the regional parties, either BRS or whatsoever other new parties are coming up, Kavita, so they doesn't have a strong stand in Telangana. So they have that fight again. They are fighting internal clashes and all and everything. And as far as the Congress is concerned, Revanth Reddy is facing a lot of criticism. He always speaks against BJP or so whatsoever. This is the one context. So BJP is very much sure. There are many party defections and all, one member joining other party. This is all happening. BJP is very much sure, as far as Telugu states are concerned, the politicians, whether they're regional or national party people, they can be easily in between managed to have a compatibility with BJP. As far as the political ground is concerned in AP and Telangana, they are in a way, though Telangana people show opposition against the move, still when the politicians are all on the favor of it, finally the people who go to parliament or pass or do these are politicians. So that may be one thing as far as Telugu states is concerned. Coming to the second point, maybe the BJP or the ruling party is very much confident with its growing power in the north, with its growing, with its continuous victories in the places where the people had not imagined, and making the other bill like women bill a big major thing and all, and making people feel that even in the Iran-Israel war, it is doing a lot and all other things in this context. So it is maybe it is feeling that it is trying its luck, or maybe trying to give a loud signal that I can do whatever I want. And even the South state is almost conquered now. So even the South states will be, under my opinion, maybe some may oppose, maybe it's a signal or loud sound, I say. In a way, whether it fail or whether it passes, that's a different thing. But it is the power of the point, I feel, more than.
Okay, just want to know, will we or can we see a situation where not just parties in the opposition, but parties and political voices collectively from the South will speak up against the delimitation bill? And you see, this is not just about defeating one bill. Will this now in the South be seen as a lack of intent and commitment towards the South from the center? You see, that is even bigger than passing a bill.
Yes, Sanket. Actually, that has become a very debatable one, and often we see the posts on social media by many youngsters also. They say that the South has been discriminated in terms of governance, in terms of allocation of funds, in terms of um, policies, even infrastructure facilities. The state governments are doing their part, but the union government has failed to allocate funds, even to provide basic infrastructures. So that has been discussed a lot on social platforms. And when we go around for the even in my recent election trip, I could gather from the youngsters, even the first time voters, they say there is a clear division which they could see. Though we are all proud to call ourselves as Indians, and we talk proudly about unity in diversity, but the young voters told me, I was quite surprised. They said this is quite we are very upset that we could not feel that we are treated in an equal manner in which the northern part is being treated. So that kind of clarity is very much seen among the youngsters, though they may not gained exposure to the nuanced terms like delimitation, all that, but federalism, autonomy, all that, but they could clearly see that there is a discrimination pattern that is followed in many ways, and they say it affects them because in a place called Kunnam village in Perambalur, I spoke to a couple of youngsters who attended their railway exams. Though they are applicants from Tamil Nadu, their seats, they have to appear their exams in Kerala. So they said they have to write the exam in Hindi. So they said why the kind of the system is built like that. Why we could not appear for railway exam in Tamil, and that too in Tamil Nadu? Why we have to go to a faraway place? So they connect these dots and they think, yes, we are being discriminated. So this is what I gained from ground from the youth of Tamil Nadu.
Correct, and I'm pretty sure all of this is going to play on the minds of voters when Tamil Nadu goes to polls. My question is, do you feel that political parties in the South, irrespective of their ideology and political divide, can coalesce and come together to perhaps perceive the central government as anti-South?
The very dangerous thought is evidently possible to sing in the South, because as one of the panelists said earlier, now when it comes to central devolution of tax, there is a discrimination against the southern states. Every single state in the south, whether it is Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, they have all complaining about the lesser share in the central pie. Now, Kerala actually has gone to the Supreme Court complaining against the central government. I think it is under the consideration of the Supreme Court. So this discussion is going to get more traction now. The problem is that the economic disparity is one thing, political disparity is a major thing, because as Indians, I don't think the South Indian states may have a problem in giving a share in their revenue to the North Indian states for them to pick up. But a reduced political mandate or political power or share in political power may not be acceptable to the South Indian states. So this can have very dangerous consequences in the long term.
Yeah, I mean, there are many commentators who feel that for a country which is so deeply polarized and divided on religious lines, on caste lines, it is a very dangerous proposition for yet another division to come to the fore. It already exists, at least in the minds of a certain few. But for it to come to the fore that the North is being treated politically superior to the South. So while the South becomes the economic superpower, North can't become the political superpower in the country. Naveen, final comments. Would you like to tell us about what you feel on a collective South Indian response to delimitation? You see, my bigger worry is that even if this is some sort of a political experiment at the center, some sort, knowing fully well it's a constitutional amendment bill, parties from the South and opposition parties will unite and defeat it. This amendment will not go through. Obviously, it is part of some experiment which only Mr. Modi and Shah know. My point is, does this sow seeds of doubt in the minds of people in the South? Should there be a genuine exercise of delimitation, say maybe a year from now or 2 years from now or post the 2027 census?
Yeah, from the Karnataka point of view, as you said, after 2 years or after this census, after the census, it will be it will be good for having the delimitation, because the demand is from South India and even from Karnataka is that we need they have to give some incentives, because Karnataka or even other states are very good in population control level. They are doing good. Because of that, we don't have much population. So we have improved in other sectors like education, industries, or any revenue making, any business. The South Indian states are very good. So and tax generation. So they are demanding, Karnataka is also demanding that they have to give incentives, instant incentives like giving more contribution towards the like other sectors we have developed. We are developing. So this is to be done scientifically. So this is the one demand from the Karnataka, and also one more step is actually thought over by the some leaders in Karnataka, that there should be, though it is as another panelist said that it is dangerous move, but they are thinking of having a like collaboration of South Indian states and going against this bill or any other like forming a
Oh,
South Indian
who has
union type.
proposed this? Because this was exactly my question. A sort
Yeah,
of a collective. For
yeah.
instance, in the Northeast, you have NEDA, Northeast Development Authority. So, is there who is thinking of this collective from the South?
From Sidramaya, actually Sidramaya's political secretary
Ah,
a
see.
year ago has moved this, and he contacted Tamil Nadu and other counterparts to have a discussion on this issue. So this, I think this will
I'll
be
tell you another problem with that. Revant Reddy will also want to do this. Chandrababu Naidu will also want to do this. Mr. Stalin will also want to do this. I'm sure Pinarayi Vijayan will also want. Everybody will want to be this head of the collective.
Sorry,
yeah
Sanket,
actually
actually last year there was an 2-day conference held in Chennai, and it was entirely focused on the rights of the southern states, mainly focusing on the federal rights, and particularly focused. There were many important discussions, and there were important sessions planned, and representatives from chief ministers, secretaries from southern states participated. They discussed mainly on delimitation. They said this can't be done, and the delimitation should be the current one should be followed, and the new changes should be frozen.
Yeah, exactly. And delimitation has been a huge issue in Tamil Nadu, and I'm aware of that. And for the central government to bring out a delimitation bill at the back of a women's reservation bill in the manner in which it has only further proves the point that certain political parties are making in Tamil Nadu. Sorry, Naveen, you were saying. If you
the
could
chief
unmute your,
ministers.
yeah, yeah, carry on, carry
Yeah,
on, carry on. It's done.
CM's political secretary has moved this a year ago, and actually they are planning this also now also, because as Pramila said, one session has been done was done in Tamil Nadu, and so this type of discussions they want to make. So this will be the, I think they are thinking of that, because instead of going directly against the central government or this issue, their first step will be the discussions. So this is the planning of the Karnataka government also.
All right. I
Sanket,
think we've got, yes, yes, Pramila.
actually, last year at the end of the program, they said the second phase of this program would be conducted in Hyderabad. They promised on that. I think the southern states they just forgot to move a bit after that. So probably this will give them a call to act immediately.
Okay, Sanket,
Yeah, I
can I
mean,
add something?
yes, Miss Rachna.
As you have told that it may be what kind of experiment you mentioned something. Maybe we may look at it in another way. Rather than increasing north powers over south, doing it by itself and all, maybe BJP is looking at a different angle. It almost knows, as you said, it's just an experiment. If we just think in that perspective, maybe the party is thinking is not to instill fear in the is to instill fear in the minds of the politicians of the South Indian southern state, so that they'll be under that fear. If it does not align with the center party, we'll be one day we'll be experiencing the same position which now uh, Bihar is experiencing. Now only Samrat Chaudhary is made new BJP CM and all. So in the same way, it is a way making Tamil Nadu CM or else Andhra AP and all. It is also checking the support, which south states are under support, so that if in case whether we have the power or not, how can we ally and like Bihar, though there is a regional party in strong power, how can we make it alliance? How can we bring that our input? Maybe it is experimenting now with South India, I feel. It is not, its main purpose is not to pass this bill. If this bill is passed, it will face a lot of massive opposition even from people. Even it may be also under the preposition, people will not understand delimitation. They look after for welfare schemes, they look after for education, they look after for employment opportunities. Maybe 1 month or 2 months this educationalist, intellectuals and politicians will fight and they will forget. At least this will instill a fear in the minds of the South Indian chief ministers and upcoming politicians. So they will have a backup plan that if any danger comes up, we can align with this national party. So that is a safe option. Maybe to inculcate that fear and bring them to that mindset. Maybe I just think I just got that thought.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting thought that you are leaving us with, because usually the method to get people on board is an ED CBI alliance. That has proved to be far more effective than direct action, which you seem to be proposing. But it was very interesting, Mr. Jacob, who's not here right now, but Rachna, Pramila, and Mr. Naveen, for giving us perspective from each of the South Indian states. There's so much being spoken about, but to get an actual on ground perspective of how people and politicians from these states are thinking about the center's proposed move was extremely fascinating. Thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. Thank you.